Okay, what we're going to try and do today, it's Friday and I'm behind schedule. This is an SMC Oscar and we've got a request to do a microphone. If I pinned in on these, it's going to be the same as the Barracuda 940 and the Sapphire 4000X. So we've got a standard coffin mic. This is one with a plastic plug, which is for me. And then we've got one with a metal plug, identically wired for the customer. I just want to prove that it works. So the problem here is our SMC Oscar has been messed with something chronic. There's chopped out wires all over the place. So what we're going to do, we'll sell this when it's done. Our demonstration SMC Oscar is here. Good. So we'll take apart our demonstrator and see what needs putting back to standard. Now these are underappreciated, probably because people don't like the small window. Was that a CB term? The meter on the front. And probably because they don't have loads and loads of knobs on them. But they're really good sets, and they've got the extra stage which you don't, and the bigger filter that you don't get except when you buy the Harvard 420M and the Rotel 240, York 863, Banatone 5-star. So it's a better set. So we can see we can get rid of some of this wiring. It's got a radio ham call sign on the front, so whether or not somebody turned it on to 10 meters. We're going to be turning it back, whatever. Just hope they haven't changed too many components around. Anyway, I'm sure you don't want to watch me unwiring something for the next hour. I could have sworn that was the right one, but it isn't. I think somebody's tried to improve on the squelch here. It's there somewhere. Anyway, I'll pause the video and we'll come into it when we actually get something I can switch on. Right, well, we seem to have got all the wires out, and you can see they put a crystal filter in. If it's is doing the right sensitivity, then we'll let that go, because I never know whether they've put the right one in. Anyway, so those modifications around the squelch area, hopefully I've reversed those. Modifications around the VECO, missing parts, hopefully we've reversed those. Other than that, it looks in excellent condition. 747, is that kind of aeroplane? Right, let's get it plugged into the test set. We have got a Kerno Beta 4100, I think, in for repair, and that will be the next job. I was hoping to do that today, but this came first. So, and as I say, just to really demonstrate that I've got the microphone wired right. I bet we've got a unident type connector on the bench. So we're lit up and it's on channel 20 now. Is the meter lit up? I can't see it being. Right, so I want to plug into the speaker. You don't get PA on this model. So we'll plug our newly wired microphone in. It looks like we've got squelch on all the time, which could be part of well, it could be part of it being set wrongly. It could be part of modification not restored. Anyway, we'll come to that. So here comes the question. Is it going to transmit? Put picture in picture on. And these don't have a TX light, so you know, I don't know whether we've actually got it going into transmit. Right, it's time to get the multimeter out. Mr. Chippy had his crocodile clip back yesterday. I mean, this set may not even be recoverable. You don't know if they've blown it up. So, far side of resistor 4, 0.4. Well, that looks like it's locking. Transmit is out of lock. Well, that looks to be in lock. We're not transmitting, but it looks to be in lock. When we're doing this on channel 24, you know, let's try again. Could do better. We'll start on channel 40. Okay. 4 volts on channel 40. And then in transmit, 4 volts, channel 40 in transmit, back to receive, and 4 volts. Let's go to channel 1, 2.14 on receive, 2.0 something on transmit. So as far as I'm concerned, the VCO with the synthesizers working, and that's all fine and dandy. What I'll just do, so there could be other faults causing us to have no transmit. Let's put up the frequency counter and let's put in 2779125. I know we've got a squelch issue, but we might actually hear it receiving. I've got a massive signal on. I'm just going to adjust that coil because I'm looking at the meter. Not going to adjust any others. You can actually hear it. You can just hear it at full throttle. Actually, you can see the meter moving. Just tuning it to the meter, which is not how you do it. I'm even going to do some of the IFs to this meter. Because that was miles out. That wasn't. It's now receiving about S9 equivalent. This isn't having any effect. Well, it is now. So there's two things to overcome on received. It's as deaf as a post, and B, it is the squelch not opening, and we have no transmit. We can have no transmit for lots of reasons. There's every possibility that there's a part missing from the modification. So I'll look back at I'll just concentrate on getting transmit working first. We've done the VCO. The fact that I can hear receive at S9, and I can stop it by changing channel, is a great step forward. And unplugging the mic, we lose our sound. I'm sure the mic's done right. Good. Yeah, I'll just have a look, see if there's something else we can see that they've taken out and I haven't restored. So a quick thing, I had a look round, and in fact I've ended up getting the receiver more sorted. They're not fully sorted. We've now got, really good sensitivity on receive. That's 0.3 of a microvolt. So that's sensitivity is fine. There was a link missing which goes to the filter here, so that's now back. There was a capacitor missing here. I thought I was going to operate the squelch, but it doesn't. We still have no squelch operation. They may have even disconnected the controller and had some other board in, so that's something to look at. But we still have no transmit, so we're kind of 3 snags to go, and one of them's been done, so it's 2 to go. That wasn't said very well, was it? But you know what I mean. So it's still going to be comparisons, because I could get my walkie-talkie out. I think we'll do that, and we'll just listen to it transmitting on microwatts. Okay, folks. Well, we're very nearly. I think we probably are there with it now. 1 or 2 things. I'd failed to notice that capacitor 68, I think it is, had an extra capacitor tagged onto it. And then I'd failed to notice that resistor 60 something, this one here, you've got 1, 2, the third one, the one on the right next to the transistor, one leg had been lifted. So if you remember, we put that capacitor back, which was missing, and so that's brought the squelch operation back. Switch the signal generator on. No, put it on channel 20, that'll help. Set the squelch. Works. And then finally, I've changed. The voltages were all wrong around this stage of the transmitter. If we look at the redrawn diagram, T3 and T4, just everything was wrong. So I thought, well, I'll tell you what, I'll just change them both. So I've had a scrap AM chassis here. I pinched them out of that. So there we go. Now we've got transmit. Oh, picture in picture on, picture in pictures on, and we've got transmit. So we can't do a before and after on this set, because obviously it's had a lot of work. For the first time, we'll be able to see what frequency it was on. That was for the DNT I started. I've got a misprinted sheet here. We use the misprinted sheet. Still cost me the same, don't they? T21 set, X 10 meter. 1st of November 2024, SMC Oscar 1. We'll come back to the serial number. These before and afters are not going to make much sense, because I've had to get it working. What we've got at the moment, we've got 2.5. Well, it doesn't mean anything because it's not been set up. So I think we'll start by setting up the transmitter. I did get these. There was a core missing from the green one, and I've got them somewhere like you'd expect them to be in a normal working set, by comparing it with my working Oscar. So here we go. If I can take my talkie-walkie off now. Maximum. I've already got that at maximum. Here's our AM coil. Like it makes any difference not. I've got them all set up just by our preliminary tests, so that's good. So we're on the 3 watt scale still, not quite at full scale deflection. We've got 2.8 watts. So I can find the blue trimming tool. Wants to be maximum on all 3 for now. That is maximum. That is now 3 watts. just going to check that's in the right position and not the wrong side. Okay, let's go for it. Maximum 3.2. So we need to now turn the right hand one for 4.4 watts. We're not quite at 4, we're only just over the 4 watts, so we'll just turn that so it makes a difference, which is there, and then we'll turn this one left till we get a difference. Alright, it's miles off frequency before we go any further. Just show you that, which it's going to be. That's something else I hope we can rectify. 27,79125 it should be. Will it go down low enough? Yes, it will. So we're at 3.8 watts. Let's go to the channels. Channel 40, 3.8 watts. Channel 1, 3.7 watts. Our power consumption, low power. Let's have a look on the, I'm not showing you the power scale. Got absolutely nothing. Now these can crack, or they can be dirty. Let's go for the service holes first. It's 400 milliwatts. VCO is 4 plus 4, 27,79126, and our deviation on this meter, I'll just switch the other test set on ready, we'll do the receiver and we'll come back to the deviation properly, but on this test set I'll need to tune it because it was last on CPT. Wallow. It's actually reading about 2.2, which is where it should be. So if we look at the meter, we're on low power, it's banging across. So that's reading 4 as long as you've got a microscope to read it. Don't think there's a meter lamp, and doesn't have that. Okay, let's go through the receiver. So you see me roughly go through the receiver. I just did it by ear with the walkie-talkie or something, didn't I? Well, not with the walkie-talkie, I was doing the transmitter like that. Let's go and do the detector first. I didn't touch that. So we'll put S9 equivalent signal on of 100 microvolts. That sounds and looks absolutely awful. I think the IF's so far out. Let's go to the cyanide meter. See if I can straighten that up first. I think that's where we are. Okay, we'll come back to the detector now. Now we've got all the IFs right. There we are. Well, that looks really good. Let's see what it is. Not 0.32. 0.25, 0.82. Let's have a look at the S meter. Needs to be S9 for 100 microvolts. Good, that's that done. Squelch. Let's put the attenuator on so you can see where we are. And at the moment, that's 1 microvolt. We'll put it to 0.3, park it, and set this squelch for threshold. Signal generator back on. It's coming at 0.3. Right, full squelch. Let's see where it comes in now. I want it to be 100 microvolts. It's too weak. That's it. Now we'll see what the sensitivity is like. It's still 0.3, hasn't spoilt it. So we've got the meter lamp to do. Potentiometers are fine as well. I've just got deviation to do. I'll just see what it sounds like at the moment. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Right, so that's plugged into the test set. May as well switch picture and picture off. Oh, my leg. So I want the feedback one to be at the central position, which it isn't. Let's see where we now are with the deviation. Where's my glasses? Wallow, wallow. Slightly quiet. So I think we'll come back to that in half an hour, but just keep sure the test set's properly warmed up, because it's only been on 5 minutes. Okay, folks, so it was about right, but of course I've altered the feedback one, so it obviously got adjusted. So I'll just recover the connector. It's still plugged into the test set. This set's been sat here as a chassis. We've got the case for it, but it means digging it out. So we'll finish this video and we'll do the on the air test without a case. Right. Main meter, deviation. Let's see what it says on this test set. It's like that, is it? Wallow. It says it's slightly high on this one. I will just drop it off. Wallow. There we go. Okay. So let's plug it into our extension speaker instead of the test instrument speaker, because it didn't like that, did it? That's great. Delta tune works. See if it's still doing the same power now. That's low power. So I think we're going to have to do the meter lamp on this, but because it's getting dark, I'm wanting Mr. Chippy to get on with the on the air test. I don't think it's lit up. No, we'll worry about that later. So the set's done. So there we are. Put it on the aerial. Have a flick round. One on a Roger. I'm not a lover of concentric controls, but there we are. So we've rescued the SMC Oscar 1 from the dead, having been turned into a 28 meg 10 meter ham set, and unfortunately it wasn't just a matter of trying to guess what they've done. I'd previously taken some stupid board out, but the fact is that these two coils were open circuit, and that was a bit of a surprise. I don't know how they managed to do that, and so I'm presuming it never worked as a 28 meg ham set because they'd burnt out the coils. So there we have it, resurrected from. It can't be that high hours, because it depends how many hours it did when it was a CB before it was turned into not quite a ham set and then back again. But there you go. Thanks for watching SMC Oscar 1, and we'll shove that one on eBay in due course.